we're over here at number Kuf Hey, page number Kuf Hey, in the Drush El Laila Drush Gimel, Shaar Hakavanot. So we've been talking about sleep, talking about the Nesira, talking about really, really deep ideas, really nice ideas. But Eis Hashina, when you go to sleep, Olam and Neshamos Laman are Neshamos. So I'm trying to think what does Neshamos mean. Neshamos is like the sparks of the infinite that's within us. Olos Laman, he says, Neshamos Laman, they go Olim Laman, La'ora Hazivug, the Chatzos Halayla. So we're not talking about something small, we're talking about beyond our imaginations, really. Va'al Yado, and because a result, through the energy of this mind, Mischadshim HaNeshamos, it causes a Chiddush in Neshamos. Now, I think it's to understand what Mischadshim HaNeshamos means, I think is probably pretty important over here. What exactly does it mean? So he says, that's the intro. So first we'll read off the top, and then we'll pick up the light print. There is an involved Shefa Hakavanot coming up, and I'm going to see whether we could do it in one shiur or see how it goes. We'll just try to understand this. So he says, okay, we could read down below, we'll just make it more continuous. It seems like it's a little bit bright, but this is the way the light works here. It says, Adaki kamo shabiyardo shanishmo seino hanato olos lamala bakol lila v'hios gufo seino yushene v'nirvadamim. And this is very similar. He wants to say that this is metaphoric, but it actually happens just like it did at the very beginning. And this becomes the necessary ingredient to perform the zivug at midnight. Is boyer le'er b'drashi defilas apayim. The b'shah she'anu b'nei adam hatachtainim yeshenim, when we're sleeping, olos nishmol seina l'mala b'sod man. Our neshamas go up in the secret of man. Now, I'm always interested over there is a discussion also of the concept of the Kad Shaos, of the 24 hours of the cycle of life, which I don't really have a handle on. So I'd like to learn more. Nishma Sendel Lamala V'Sod Man, Yachad im Birurim HaMalachim, together with the Birurim from the Spheros of the Nikudim that broke, Ha'olim Atach of the Histakein that are now coming up into the light of pure truth to be rebuilt. And they're the ones that arouse. They're the ones that cause the upper zivug to take place when Hana'asa b'chatzas halayla. Number Gimel. And this is for the necessity of the neshamas themselves, so they should be able to come back and become renewed. So he's Elias and Neshamas Laman. So that when we're talking about that, the Neshamas with that life force that is within us in the deep, covered in the very inception of our lives itself. He says that Elias and Neshamas Laman, that is going up. Besides the fact that a tremendous amount of shefa will be produced as a result of the mating of the male and female elements of the Most High. He said, "Who gam the tzorach chiddush and neshamas." It's also for the purpose of renewing neshamas. Now, exactly what does that mean? We're going to get into it more. L'holan shazivog zera mechadesh as kli hayisod denuk. Here, look at it. What happens? What is the great thing that happens when you have a yichud at the Most High place, which is inspired by the neshamos, our neshamos, going back up into that world? So and it renews the neshamas that went there. But there was something I want to say. That's not the part I want to say. As kli, the vessel of the yesod of the nook. He says mechadesh, it renews it. Now, what does that mean? That's a big idea. So, let's just read. I think there's a little bit of a blurb on this at the bottom. I don't want to miss any of his thinking. He says like Nishmal Seinu, Anachno Olas Lamalo, Abakol Laila. Bihiyos Gufuseinu Yushenin Nividarmim, our bodies are sleeping. He just wants to talk about that particular phrase. Let's look at it quickly. The based in the Filas Apayim. The Sham Mavur Inyan Ha'alos Man Hana'asa Ayedech the Filas Apayim. So over here we're talking about bringing man from the bottom to the top, the bottom of our souls, the very bottom. Now, that really happens. When does that happen? The Ashkenaz call it tachnon, but the Sfardim call it the Nefilas Apayim. It's falling on your hands, or falling on your face. So now, read again. He says, this happens. How does this whole thing happen? It happens that your kavanah when you're doing the Nefilas Apayim should be this. L'horid es hanaran shall bring down your neshama, which has within it a ruach, and has it surrounded by a ruach and a nefesh also. All of those elements, shalo l'mako makali, into the place, that real depth of nonsense. Shesham naftuch nitzutzas agadushim. So there you see fell the nitzutzas agadushim. And you raise them up from that place. Ein sham pratical devob. So you have to have that kavanah. Now here's where we're coming over here. Now after we're going into that, Kosev Sham, it writes like this. Rab writes, that sleeping has the same thing. What is that? You're bringing your Naran down into the makom of the Kali. It's like I'm thinking, is this like a what do you call it? Where you jump on it, it springs you back up. You jump on it, you're going to go down first. When you go down, then there's a spring. Jumping, what do you call it? Jungle gym? No, that's the wrong one. I don't know if I'll think of it. This is a trampoline, that's the word. Hashina v'zechel l'shon, that's a v'chim mamish al derek zecha b'chum mamish be'inyan shina sa'adam b'layla. Asher gam he besod hamisa. Now, all these thoughts, it's also a concept of death. What's he saying? He says that when you have this kavanah, that your neshama is going to go down into the deepest possible depth, the depth is the death. It's death. There's just no life there. But some life is trapped in there. So that's part of this look, part of what we're looking at. Hu besod hamisa. Ki nasha yeredis el darga the musa, because what happens is that our nefesh, which is the most exterior part of us, the part that actually dies, which refers to, let's say, is involved in death, which refers to our bodies, the spirit within in our bodies, let's say, so to speak, the darga the musa makali, in the place where there's kali. And then there are those who at that point can make a bira there, the lilkot, and to gather up neshamos, lights, particles of infinity that are the ultimate source of all energy and being, of the aloisach besod man, and to bring them up into the secret of my nukvin, with sort of zivul alayla, for the purpose of a zivul, the nighttime yichud. And we're trying to understand what the power of this right time yichud could be. Kenizka b'raya mehemna, that's in Parshat Tzav. V'yesh mi she'olahu levada. Now there are those who go up by themselves. V'yesh mi she'nishar sham b'kali ve'ena oila klal. And so those neshamos, what does he say? Say it again. He says, Yesh mi she'olahu levada. There is some that that go up by itself. V'yesh mi, I think he's talking about the sparks of the neshamos that are trapped. Misha nishar sham b'kali ve'ena oila klal. And they're not getting out at all. Kenizkar b'zoyer, the shilchi of Parshas v'yikra. Okay, then we're going to stop right there, and there's a big piece coming up, and we want to see that, I think, in its entirety.